but it wasn't until I was in college and I read Kate Meaton's Hark a Vagrant that I actually thought that I could make comics. So that was like a big moment for me, just like finding out about webcomics at all in the first place, and that was the first one. So.
Oh man, probably the most formative comic on me is Sandman. I'm sorry, it's just, you know what? It's straight up the truth. But yeah, Sandman is. I mean, just in terms of like making you dive into a long-form story, complex world building, characterization. That's the story to beat. For me, I think maybe one of the greatest stories ever told beyond any medium. Put any medium up against it.
I can't say the Sandman now.
You say the Sandman?
The Sandman, cool. Yeah, the Sandman for those reasons. Gunner Quick Court got me, like back in high school, got me super, super into webcomics and realizing that was a thing that you could tell really cool stories in. So, those two.
If I had to pick one that like made me want to do it, maybe Jimmy Corrigan by Chris Ware, just because, and it's not like the sort of work that I'm doing or really want to be doing at all, but it showed me a sort of thing that could be done in comics, and it opened up space that I wasn't really aware of, because it's got like a very unified aesthetic and it knows what it's doing and it's complicated and I love it.
The community of webcomics is incredibly welcoming to artists who are just starting out, and it just created a bar that felt, I don't know, not lower, but like that you could come into it and be a part of it, and you didn't have to go through this whole like thing of trying to get published, trying to like meet and impress people. You just put it out there and like, you know, and it was fine. And that was really my introduction into making comics, was like the webcomics community, reading questionable content and Octopus Pie and Girls with Slingshots and like all those really fantastic comics. They're now like the grandfathers and grandmothers of the comics community.
Ooh, good question. You know, I think if there was one single comic, it was probably Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. by Steranko. When I was just like 15 years old, I saw this thing and it had a lot of surrealism, a lot of really strange compositions, and I didn't think comics could do that. And that was the point where I remember thinking, wow, this art form has potential. I was a like really pretentious 15-year-old, and this is the way my brain worked even then. I really liked what he was doing with just playing with the form, and I thought maybe I could do that too. And that was the one I know that definitely set something off in my mind.
Worship me!